All right, beautiful. So, welcome everybody to another week. It is a brand spanking new month, the month of December. Who's my Christmas people? Who's my people out there? Give me a double thumbs up if you've had your Christmas decorations up for, let's say, a week. Keep your thumb up if it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Wow, some of y'all are freaks. 6, 7. Where's my Christmas freaks? Oh my God. Who had their Christmas stuff up before Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh. I want to know who has had, if you think that you've had your Christmas decorations up the longest, you think you're the winner right now. I want to see it in the chat. November 1st. That's pretty good. November 1st. Like coming, yeah, that's early. Who else? No? November 1st has it? All right. Okay. Do lights count? Do last year's lights count? Does that mean you did not take them down? Okay. All right. Maybe you win. Now, is that just, no time, or that's like, oh, you know what? I just didn't get a chance to put them away yet. Okay. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. The title of tonight is Structure Yields Results. And in this case, we're going to talk about the structure of your business. But before we do that, I need to see smiles from everyone on here before I continue. It's a prerequisite. Sorry, it's absolutely a requirement. Donna, let me see your teeth. There it is. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So a couple things I want to do real quick. All right, I would like you to take 1 minute. Don't think about this too hard. Don't think about this too much. It doesn't have to be in great detail. I just want the first thing that you are grateful for, the first thing that pops on your mind that you're grateful for. I would like you to go real quick, grab your phone, go on Facebook, and I just want you to type it out. That's it. I want you to make a public declaration of your grateful nature, your gratitude towards this thing, this person, whatever it is. Just bam. I'm grateful for bam post. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Why? And here's the reason why. Because I want you to spread a little gratitude tonight. Here's how, and here's why. Because by you being grateful for something, we all know this. That's my, that's my jam when we get on here. We want your head and your heart to be in a place of gratitude. Why? Because we know that, no, this doesn't count. Not on the Zoom chat, people. Follow instructions here, okay? Follow instructions on your Facebook. Why? Because I want y'all to spread a little love, right? I want you to think about this. Why? Because when you state something publicly that you're grateful for, it has the ability to inspire someone else. Some of you are going to get comments tonight of somebody saying, you know what, I'm grateful for something too. Or, if you want to take it one step further, this is one thing that I'm grateful for. What are you grateful for? Right? Let's spread love. Let's spread gratitude tonight. Sometimes it's the smallest little thing that we can do to get other people, right, to play it forward or to pass it forward or to prove it forward. That's what I want you to do. Okay. So I've been running my gums for at least a minute, which means y'all should have posted something. Like I said, don't think about it too much. Just post. And not in the group chat, on your Facebook. On your Facebook, people. Awesome. All those things that you posted you're grateful for, post it on your Facebook. All right, number 2, recognition. Here we go. I would like for y'all to take the next 60 to 120 seconds, and I want y'all to brag on your team. I want you to brag on those on your team that are taking action, that are taking activity, that are showing up, that are setting new goals, that are hitting their GoPro, Go MVP, Go All-Star, those individuals that are absolutely crushing it. Yes, this time you can put it in the chat. In the chat. What are we doing? We're getting the muscle movement. We're taking action, right? Some Zooms you can probably jump on and you can just sit there and not even know what happened. I'm going to challenge you to action tonight. I'm going to challenge you to take some action, right? Get that muscle moving. All right, here we go. My gosh, they're coming in hot. Samantha Shear is a bomb-ass leader. Go Samantha. Davina, am I saying it right? Always showing up. Taylor Beers, Jenny Pyro, great job. Jesse Kroyman, Jane Baker, Shannon Yang, Dana Cosley, Becky Jennings. You can also tell me what they're doing. What are they doing? Brianna, new enrollments off the charts. Fantastic. Warner Lewis crushing it by always being dedicated in all he does. Gratitude post done. Good stuff. Good pat on your own back. Charity Cannon. Tony Saviano. Tony, I keep hearing your name. Tony, go Tony. Pushing the whole team. Awesome. The motivation keeps us going. Missy Sight, Tony Saviano. There it is again. Jess Nouse. Christy Jones, Bella Butra. Becky Mann. Here's what I love. Tony Salviano, not only is it coming from his coach recognizing him, but it's also coming from his team that appreciate him too. Tony, that's a really good, that's awesome, dude. Elise Williams, Jade Covert at her first public event tonight. Beautiful. Christina Hackley, Christine Gravel, Paige Brown for being an amazing leader, Mary Dowden, Melissa Savard, Tim Zong, Tim's the man, Angela, Robin, Tanya, Paige and Tiffany slinging reboots and rocking their biz, Lance Gandy, Samantha Shearer, that's twice I heard Samantha's name, Tracy Lewis, Penny Kennedy, Melissa Borgogan, kick-ass Rhino, love it, Braden, Brady, Josh, Austin, Kate, Haley, Michael, the Manitoba crew must be doing good stuff. Megan Kreviston has some major breakthroughs and her business is starting to take off. Awesome. Samantha Rose, beast. Taryn, I know Taryn's an amazing leader and a great friend. Awesome. Relationship. Yes, I said it correctly. Awesome. Stacey Elliott, being a great support sister. Katie Rose, amazing leader. Sharon, crush the 10 days. Rachel Robinson, Emily Santiago, Shanna Palmer. My entire team, beautiful. It's great. Engagement. Grace Vasquez. Sharon being a badass leader. Kayla Kelly, always showing up. Sam Zierke. Katie Rose, amazing leaders. Melissa May, amazing leader. Thankful to the team. Tony Saviano again. New volume leader last month. Awesome. My sponsor, Daviana. Sarah and Robin, Mick and Camille, Katie Rose. A lot of these names going over and over again. Okay, next time you got to get your name in faster because, holy, I'm not going to be able to keep up with all this. Kim, Alexis Whalen, Jess Kroyman. Alexis Whalen and Kelsey are killing 10 days. Yes, I saw that. Both of y'all crushing it. Kendra for Heart and Hustle. Let's be awesome. Cool. So, good stuff. I love it. I love hearing it. I know you guys love sharing. Those that are out there absolutely crushing it. So, let me see this. Do me a big favor in the chat. One more time, I want you to take action again. Just give me a thumbs up if you have committed to and have dedicated, right, to the next 8 weeks of community-based marketing, that you've stepped up, you haven't waited on somebody else, you made a determination that you were going to create those next 8 weeks of community-based marketing. Look at all those thumbs. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay? That is a big part, right? That is a big part of starting to create the structure that your business needs in order to produce the type of goals that you're ultimately trying to produce. So, structure. We want to talk about the structure of your business. And one more thing I want to make an announcement too. Who's out there absolutely crushing reboots right now? Yeah, reboots, crushing the reboot. Who is crushing the Reboot XL? Reboot XL. Whole new conversation for your rebooters, right? So for many of you, if you're looking and you're wondering, hey, how do I get people on the Reboot XL? This is ultimately a way for you to take those that are currently or have previously done the reboot and add to it, right? Now have a support system that goes beyond 60 hours. Now ultimately you have a support system that now goes from 60 hours, creating a foundation and moving in and creating stability for the rest of the month, in this case, the rest of the year, getting a jump start on their New Year's resolutions, right? Definitely would highly encourage you that the number one audience to upsell the Keto Reboot XL is your already previously existing Reboot customers. Then I can't tell you how many people have come around full circle asking about those that I've had in the prospect list. So you ultimately have two categories of people. You have those that have done the reboot. They're your customers, your Reboot customers from the past, category number one. Category number two, those that you've been digging in with and trying to get on the reboot. And ultimately, you've brought up the reboot every time, what have you, those that you've been working on to get them on the reboot. Now you have the ability to help them understand, hey, we're going to go straight off this 60-hour reboot, and we're going to double down on your results by now having the Reboot XL kit. That way you can carry on for the rest of the month, right? Make it through the holidays. Remember, some of the biggest hacks in helping your customers understand that, hey, their ketones are going to be more valuable, not when they're already on a diet or what have you. It's when they're going to get hog wild nasty on their Christmas meals, right? On all grandma's cookies and all that good stuff, right? That's the time the ketones really shine. So I would highly encourage you to make sure that you're focusing in on that audience. So with that being said, I think I hit everything that I wanted to hit in terms of announcements. Now let's get into the structure yields results. So who in here, if you have not gone Circle of Champions, who in here, give me a double thumbs up if you are excited about hitting rank 6 Circle of Champions? Yeah? And then who's excited? No? So if you're not a rank 6 Circle of Champion and you don't have your thumb up, I'm going to question, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you even wasting your time on here tonight? Okay? Now, if you are a rank 6 Circle Champion and you're ready to go pro champ, you're ready to put yourself in a position where you can go full-time business, I'm going to look at Jess Mouse right now. She got double hands up. She's throwing it up, right? And here's what's awesome. Congratulations to you, Jess. I saw that beautiful. I'm a Jeep guy. My first ever Circle of Champion vehicle was a Jeep, just like the one you got. So that is awesome. I know you're super excited about it. Here's what's funny. Here's how small the world is. There's a dude in there that was a salesperson that literally messaged me. He's like, oh my gosh, you guys are blowing. I hit this guy up about ketones 3 years ago. He happened to be the sales guy. He said, man, I don't know if that works. He hit me back after Jess got his car. Meanwhile, I'm 3,000 miles away on the other side of the country. Said, oh man, that ketone stuff must really work. Oh man, Pruvit must really work. I'm like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I said, trust me, there's more cars coming. Get ready. Now, do you want to be the one that's selling the cars, or do you want to be the one that's on the receiving end of the cars? You got to figure out which one you want to be, right? So big congratulations to you, Jess. So here's how I'm going to start this off, because we're going to dig right into it and we're going to roll. So we want to talk about the structure of your business. Some of us, we approach our business and we're just throwing mud up against the wall and we're just, hey, let's see what sticks. Ultimately, the structure of my business, I'm not being strategic. I'm not being focused necessarily. All I'm doing is maybe I'm running the play that works, maybe I'm not running the play that works, but ultimately I am getting the ketone conversation out there, and I have no idea when you speak of the term structure, I don't even know what that means. Okay, so we're gonna break it down from a foundational level and we're gonna build upon it. So how do we do that? Here's the analogy that I'm gonna make for you. Well, first off, I'm gonna read you something. It's very simple. Everyone who got to where he or she is had to begin from where he or she was. Now, is that some in-depth SHIT or what? Huh? I'm going to really blow your mind tonight. Here we go, one more time. Everyone who got to where he or she is had to begin where he or she was. Think about that for a second. Because some of you, you're looking at people right, oh my gosh, that person's a Circle Champion. Oh my gosh, that person's a rank 8. Oh my gosh, that person is in the Bahamas. There's a bunch of people in the Bahamas right now. Oh my gosh, that person's a rank 10, 1 million champion. That person's a legend. Remember, all of them got to where they are by starting where they were, just like all of you. Nobody had an advantage. Nobody was made special over the other person. What they ultimately did is they did the work and they built the structure that yielded the result of whatever rank, or ultimately that rank comes with a higher percentage. That higher percentage typically comes with more reward. That more reward allows you to be ultimately, or to do with that reward what you so choose. That's a better lifestyle. That's, homeschooling for your kids. That's a bigger house. That's, a vehicle. That's credit cards paid off. That's whatever that ultimately is, right? So we're going to kind of reverse engineer this, but here's how we're going to go about it. Who so far this year or in previous years, you can reference back, how many of y'all have been Christmas tree shopping? Whether it was a real tree or a fake tree, okay? Y'all fake tree people, I'm going to dismiss you right now. I'm going to dismiss you, okay? You're not even real Christmas people. I don't count you as real Christmas people. You're fake Christmas people, fake trees. We don't do fake trees here, okay? I'm going to talk to the real Christmas tree people. Give me a big high five if you're a real Christmas tree person. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Now, if you're a real Christmas tree person, how many of you have gone out to the lot, or maybe some of y'all are even, I've done it two ways the last couple of years. Number one, when I'm in Alaska, I literally put all my stuff on. I go out to the woods and I try to find a tree. Now, here's what I will tell you. Lots of Charlie Brown trees out there, okay? They're not quite as full and nice as you get in some of the states that y'all are in. However, it's nice to go find one that's nice and symmetrical, right? That looks pretty. Now, for those of you that go to the Christmas tree farm, how many of you literally spend minutes and hours, or even maybe you came back and visited again because you're looking for the perfect tree? You're looking for that tree that just is perfectly structured, right? It doesn't have any holes in it, right? It's perfect in its symmetry. It's like, yes, this is the tree. Anyone relate to what I'm saying right now? Okay? You want that perfectly structured tree. Now, can y'all see my tree? Can y'all see my tree? Can you see it okay? Can you see everything? Okay. So here's what kind of brought this up within me. I was Christmas tree shopping yesterday. I got a Christmas tree. I found there was a specific place where this tree was going to go, and it had to be structured perfectly for the spot that it was going to go. And I looked over and over again. I was FaceTiming Jenna. She was back with a baby. I had Atlas here. I'm like, Atlas, what do you think? What's your opinion on this? Back and forth. Then I was asking employees what their opinions were. Then I was going, and then I thought about it again, and then it still wasn't the right tree because I was looking for the perfect tree. They all had a little bit of holes. They were all a little bit off. And then eventually I found the perfect structured tree. It was perfect for the space. It looks perfect. I'm going to take a picture, y'all. You're going to see it on Facebook when it's all nicely decorated. It's going to be the perfect tree for that spot, right? Kind of very familiar to can I tilt my camera down? Yes, I can. So what does that look like, and how is this a reference to your business? Well, here's the first one. So there are 4 parts to this tree. 4 parts to this tree. What's the first part of this tree? The first part of this tree is the star. It's the star, right? Sorry, I literally only have 3 colors. Okay, I don't have Christmas colors. I apologize. Okay, I know blue has no place here. Red is the only one I think that passes the Christmas color, so I'm going to use this one. So the star. Who is the star? The star is you. You're the star. And when it comes to the structure of your business, right, the star is you. The star in this case is your own personal volume. Just you, right? How do you prep? The star is an important part of the tree, right? Some would say it's the pinnacle, it's the peak, right? It's many of you, you're like, it's the most important part of the tree. The star, right? The star is the most important part. So the star in this case is you. Now, how are you properly prepared to build and structure the rest of your tree? What starts with you? Are you prepared to grow a business? And what does ultimately a business need in order to grow? What does this business need in order to grow? It needs you. It needs your commitment. Everything about you. Your commitment to your training, your commitment to association, your commitment to being teachable, coachable, learning, your commitment to being accountable. All of these things are important. Let's talk about it from a volume standpoint. Is your tree prepared? Like, is your tree properly structured from the start down? How does that how does that play in, or what's the analogy there? Well, for you, it's, are you, number one, using the product? Are you taking your own ketones, number one? Are you a product of the product? Are you a product of results? Are you, right? If you go on, you should go on Nate Justice's Facebook and look at those apps. He's a product of the product, right? Or Josh Nelson's lifting post, or, oh my gosh, there's so many of you, or Missy Sight. Look at her entire family, what they were before ketones and what they are after ketones. The results are off the charts, right? So number one is, are you a product of the product? Are you taking your own product? Number two, second most important part about the star, do you have enough product to facilitate the ongoing requirement of the ketone conversation, right? Are you literally trying to just sell ketones? Are you following the system of running the play that works, right? Are you having the conversation? Are you leading in with a 5 or 10 day experience? Are you moving from a 5 or 10 day experience into an order based on a sale, or what have you, right? So there's two important parts of that star when it comes to the structure of your business. Number one, are you a product of the product? Number two, do you have enough product to facilitate the ketone conversation? So the star is you. The next one, customers. Okay, first part of your tree is customers. All right, how many customers do you have? Right, what's so cool about our business is that you can be incredibly profitable with just customers. Many people in this company have hit rank 6 Circle of Champions with just customers alone. Some have even got close to Pro Champ on just customer volume alone. However, here's what I will tell you. When it comes to the strategy for your customers, which make up the first part of your tree, right? It depends on how many do you currently have. Well, if you look at the current company average, I think BU said his last statement was per active promoter. It's about one active promoter, 83 customers to one active promoter, 83. It's a big number, but if you've been in the business for at least a year, right, potentially 2 years, potentially 3, that average obviously continues to go up. Now, I know for the first couple of years, I think it was like 30 or 40. Before that, it was 12. Bottom line is it's incredibly high, and it's a really, obviously, super important part of your business. Here's the reason why. Because a lot of your customers will ultimately make up the next structure of your tree, right? Because it's going to be a big, active part of where you pull from in terms of leads to grow and build your business, right? Now, here's the strategy that you take with customers. When it comes to the customers, or the customer part of your tree, your customers, it's going to be very shotgun style. Shotgun. What do I mean by that? That means is that ultimately you have to bend over backwards. You have to service your customers. You have to take care of your customers. And when it comes to customers, they don't have the same type of obligations and thought process that your promoters do, right? So you're going to have to help guide them and lead them, right? And ultimately, many of you, if you're truly servicing and helping your customers, many of your customers will lead to more customers. Why? Because they're incentivized to lead you to more customers, right? That's why we have our customer program. 2 people on, they get their product for free. They get the equivalent, right, to the average orders. As long as everybody's on Smart Ship, they get that for free. So anyways, it's a customer incentive. But this part of the tree helps feed the next part of the tree. And what is this? These are your promoters, okay? This is where your front line of promoters, those that you've personally sponsored, they're in this part of your tree. Now, this part of your tree also equates to, if we're talking about the structure of your business, team volume, TV, okay? Now, this part, the star and your customers equate to PQV, personal qualifying volume, as well as your personally sponsored promoters in the next part of your tree. So all of that makes up your personal qualifying volume. Why is that important? Well, it's definitely important as you continue to advance your business through champion, pro champion, ranks 8, 9, 10, and legend. Here's the reason why. Number one, Because the example that you set through you, the star, and the first part of the tree, which is customers, and ultimately how many promoters you personally sponsor is ultimately going to be what you can teach. It's going to be the example that you're setting for the rest of your team to follow, right? It also leads to your personal qualifying volume. Now, on a monthly basis, there's two parts to that. Number one, personal qualifying volume. Number two, new volume. New volume. New volume created through new customers and new personally sponsored promoters. Why is that important? Because if you want to take part in ownership pools, which is a whole separate dedicated pool of money, of reward in your business, you'll need to, at rank 7 and above, qualify for that every single month to take part in that pool. Super important, right? So we have the top part of your tree, right? PQV. We have the next part of your tree, promoters, team volume, and that's what? 3 levels deep. 3 levels, the first 3 levels of your business. Now, what's the next part of your business? That's your community. It's your community, right? And in your community, that's what? Group volume. Group volume. So we have your personal qualifying volume, your team volume, and your group volume. Those are 3 requirements in order for you to move from rank to rank to rank to rank. So how do you accomplish that? Because I promise you, you cannot advance through ranks, maybe 6, but when you get to rank 7, 8, 9, 10, and legend, you have to be like a surgeon. You literally have to be incredibly laser focused and specific to what your business needs in order for you to accomplish the next level, the next rank, right? I'm getting structure here. I'm going typically way out of the zone that I typically teach in, but I am going to give you a little bit of thought process behind it. But in this instance, these are 3 requirements. If you go right now to your reward section of your back office and you type in whatever rank it is you want to accomplish, there's a PQV requirement, there's a TV, team volume requirement, and there is a GV, a group volume requirement. They're required. So how do you accomplish those, right? How do you get those? So in this case, okay, I am gonna use blue. So we want to put some lights on your tree, right? We want to put some decorations. In this case, up here, these beautiful little lights or decorations is going to be a representation of how many customers ultimately that you have. All right, it's important to, number one, have more customers. Why? Because it's a bigger pool of people that have the ability to become promoters because they fall in love with the product. It's very organic. It's very natural, right? Super important to have customers. Now your promoters, right? For instance, let's talk about GoPro, Go MVP, and Go All-Star. These are structures. There's a reason for these. Number one, it's to create immediate reward for those promoters that are just getting started. Why? Because if they can earn more money versus less money when they're getting started, you think their belief is going to go up or go down? Up. It's going to go up. It's going to go way up, right? It's going to go way, way up. So, but not only is it for extra reward in order to add more belief, but what you don't realize is happening is if you follow the promotions of GoPro, Go MVP, and Go All-Star, it is, as a byproduct, it is building the structure that you need in order to advance your business. This is the example that I'm going to use. So All-Star, right? How many personally sponsored promoters do you need to have minimum to go All-Star? I see Nick Couch, 5, right? 5. Is everybody tracking with me? Are we still on board? Is everybody still tracking with me? You need 5, right? So here we go. We're going to put 5 ornaments on the second part of your tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now here's what you realize is that if you help 5 different people go MVP, right, as a byproduct, you are now creating a structure that allows for a nice, even tree, that allows for a nice, even structure, right? Why? Because if you were to advance those that are MVP to All-Star and you were to do it through 5 separate legs, you can calculate the volume. You're getting really close to rank 6, right? Rank 6. Now, once you hit rank 6 and you're doing it through 5 separate businesses, now you have the ability to have a more even and structured business. Now I prepared for you guys that need visuals, right? Because if you notice my little Christmas trees down here? These little effed up Christmas trees, right? The ones that you pass by unless you really have a heart for Charlie Brown Christmas trees, right? What is this first tree? This first tree, that's just you. I'm just buying volume, baby. Just buying me some volume. I am a star, but I got this just ugly piece of wood, right? It's just a star on top of a stick, right? We don't want that business. What's the next example? The next example is you plus customers, but you ain't got no team, you have no business. You have no ongoing replication, which is ultimately what you want. I promise you to accomplish what it is that you need to accomplish. Most of your goals are going to rely on a proper structure. Number 2, what is this one? This is a tree, this is you, right? This is your customers, and this is team volume, right? Team volume, but you ain't got no group volume, which means that, hey, eventually what I'm qualifying for is stopped. I'm not getting to the next level because I don't have the next section to my tree. Now there's some of you that you got started, right? And you have a whole bunch of group volume, but you ain't got no team volume. Therefore, once again, you're not advancing your business. And then there's over here, and some of you did a little bit, you didn't do a little bit, and you just got a really freaking messed up looking tree, right? You've been throwing mud up against the wall. You have quite a bit of team volume. You have a little bit more group volume. It's all over the place, but neither one is enough for you to qualify the rank that you're trying to qualify for, right? So there's a lot of different situations and scenarios here. Now, back to this. You're 5 personally sponsored. Now, here's what I will tell you. If you want to know, hey, Bryon, how many people should I ultimately be working with? Well, here's a general rule of thumb, right? If you have more team volume than you have group volume, more team volume than you have group volume, you need to start building down into your community. If you have more group volume than you have team volume, you need to sponsor some new promoters, help them go pro, go MVP, and go all-star, right? Super simple stuff. If you have a ton of team volume and no group volume, once again, back down to building depth. So how do you do that? Well, first off, I'll tell you this. You're most likely not going to sponsor 5 promoters and all 5 of them are going to go MVP. You're typically going to need to sponsor 10 to 15 to find 5 that truly want to be coached, that truly are 100% dedicated to their goals, and they literally want to move their business forward. I promise you that. So if you're frustrated, like, Bryon, I have 5, but 3 of them don't want to do anything. Well, then in this case, remember this. You'll commit it to them as much as they'll commit to you. Always filter it through that basic, simple filter. I'll commit to you as much as you commit to me. Oh, you're not committing to me? Oh, I'm on to the next one. I'm on to the next one. And many of them have an opportunity to come back if they see you spending your time with someone else and helping someone else have results, right? But here's what I'm going to tell you. You got to have this structure because as this continues to play out, for instance, some of you, right, you got a tree that's like this one, or you got a tree that's like this one where you have a relatively big business, but it's just people who are sponsoring people who are sponsoring people. You don't have a whole lot to do with it because you basically have one business, one leg with a whole bunch of group volume, and you're missing out on massive amounts of incentive. Why? Because you haven't gone out and sponsored 5 people. So this is the start. If you I want to have a perfect Christmas tree. To have a perfect Christmas tree, it all starts with right here, having this structure of, in this case, 5 MVPs that equates to you being an all-star. Now, if you were to continue to advance those 5, in this instance, for those of you who want to be pro champs, I guarantee you this. If you have 5 separate businesses that you're building or that are growing, and in this case, let's say you've taken 5 of them to MVP, but 3 of them got really super serious on you, and they wanted to also go all-star, and they wanted to continue growing their business. When they do that, what's going to happen is if you have 3 different Circle of Champions, what's the volume required in order to have 3 Circle of Champions? Now, here's the question. It depends on how those are structured. If you have 3 Circle of Champions that are all straight down in depth, then literally all they have to have is enough volume to override each other. They're overriding each other's group volume, but they need just enough team volume to qualify for that rank. If you have 3 Circle of Champions separately in different parts of your business, that's 30,000 team volume, 30,000 group volume, 50,000 team volume, 30,000 group volume, 15,000 team volume, 30,000 group volume, 15,000 team volume, right? Let's add all these up. So you have 30, you have 45, that's 45,000, 45K team volume. That's 90,000 group volume. So in this case, most likely, the rest of your business, customers, and a few of these other promoters that haven't quite made it to that level yet, most of you, if you have that type of structure, in this case, you're easily going to hit rank 7 Circle of Champs. Pro champ. And if you continue to grow this business, it's very similar. The reason I say that is if I look at my business, it's the same way. But the key is you have to be very strategic with how you're building it. Now, for instance, if I take my 8 weeks of community-based marketing and I need more team volume, then what does that mean to you? That means you should be personally inviting as many people to those 8 weeks as humanly possible, because they're most likely have an opportunity to become your next customers and your next personally sponsored promoters. If right now you have an abundance of team volume, you have the people to work with, here's what I promise you. You can only work effectively with so many people. Many of you are like, man, I'm just running out of leads. I'm running out of people I've went through my Facebook list. The bottom line is every customer you have and every promoter you have comes with it a whole new network for you to access, for you to take your time, your energy, your effort, and give it to them. How you build your business is not just constantly being focused on gaining customers, or even in this case, turning a customer into a promoter. That's not going to do it. You have to take your talent, what you've learned here, how to go pro, how to go MVP, how to run the play that works, how to just show up to the 8 different community-based marketing environments, right? So for instance, if you're low on team volume, you need to be inviting as many people personally as possible to those 8 different environments. If you have an abundance of team volume and no group volume, guess what? You should be working those 8 environments to the guests that they're bringing. You should be making personal relationships with them. You should literally be doing anything and everything you can. You want to literally treat them as your own personally sponsored. Literally. You want to take your friend who just got started in business that just brought a guest, and you treat that guest like they're your own. You help them. You answer their questions, right? You lead them to the next steps, and you continue to do that over and over and over again. And if you learn how to do this right, many of you will already be down to this bottom part of your tree. You'll be 8 levels deep after 8 weeks. That's how you start finding new people that want to crush this thing at a level in which your network, your personal network, doesn't currently provide. Many of you are not going to find the people that want to crush this business in your own network, believe it or not. They're going to lead you to other people that do, right? As you start to put lights on this Christmas tree, some of them are going to go out, but that's okay. One light has attached to it another light, who has attached to it another light, who has attached to it another light. It's okay. I promise you, if I string this tree, Clark Griswold style, right? And a couple of these lights go out, you won't even be able to notice. Why? Because one has led me to the next, which has led me to the next, which has led me to the next. You have an infinite amount of people that want ketones, that want to be educated on ketones, that want to take their personal experience with ketones and turn them into helping other people gain a personal experience. And by the process of getting your own car paid for like Jess did, identifying and helping other people that want to make the exact same commitment. But here's the crazy thing. They don't have to come from your own personal sponsorship. They're going to come from depth. They're going to come from the people that are bringing more people to you, hoping that you know what to do with those people, which in this case is continue to help them the next step of the process. Help them have an experience with ketone. Help them share ketones. Go from sharing ketones to sharing the opportunity to get free ketones. Go from the opportunity of sharing free ketones to making money with ketones. Going from the opportunity of just making money through GoPro, Go MVP, and Go All-Star, and whatever your monthly bonuses are, to getting a car. Going from getting a car to saying, F my job, right? Going from saying, F my job to saying, I want a bigger house. Going from saying, I want a bigger house to, you know what, I want to live in just one place. Going from, I don't want to live in just one place to, you know what, I'm thinking about taking over the world. Going from, I'm going to take over the world to, I don't know. It's up to you. The point is this structure. Now, here's what I'll tell you. I'm not the best, and this is my most fun for me is teaching structure and strategy and all that crap. I love to teach thought process. But what I will tell you is this, is that the structure of your business, 1,000,000%, and I can do this ongoing to give you literally a better image of the structure of your business, but it's super, super simple. It's not complicated. I promise you it's not. And we can get into definitely more examples of this going forward, but it's super simple. You only have a few things that you're responsible for. Number one, your own personal results on ketones. Number two, having enough ketones to facilitate the conversation. Number three, customers. You need more people having more experiences to lead you to the next opportunity of people that want to turn their experiences into, you know, I want to turn my passion and my results into profits. And when you turn your passions and results into profits, now you can start structuring a business that is ultimately going to yield the result that you're looking for. Every rank has with it a range of income. That range of income relates back to the goals that you set for yourself when you first started this business. If you haven't set goals, then you need to set goals, because it will ultimately let you know what structure do I need to make this happen. Now, for some of you that this has gone over your head, you have a coach. And I promise you, that coach has put together everything that I've talked about and said, okay, you know what, this makes some sense. I have to have a structure that allows for appropriate team volume and appropriate group volume in order for me to hit the rank that I'm trying to hit, which in turn gets me to the level of income that I get that ultimately gets me where I want to go. Now, ultimately, when I do that, I can help other people do it, but the structure has to be right. The structure has to be right. If I have one, and you will always be chasing your structure in this business, just so you know. At one point, I had a runaway business. It was creating more than everything else. So I'd focus my attention to put on my next two businesses to do the exact same thing. When I did it with my second business, then I had to go on and do it with my third. When I did it with my third, I had to go do it with my fourth. And now you have millions of dollars of business through like 1, 2, and now going into 3 and 4 and 5. It all starts with GoPro. It all starts with Go MVP. It all starts, believe it or not, you hitting legend, you making sure that you have 2 million in volume, you making sure that you have one qualified rank 10 in one of these businesses. So one of these people that went MVP, one of them is going to want to have to go to rank 10, right? But every single rank has the appropriate structure to make that happen. We'll continue this on. Apologies, I know that I went over, but this is such a massively important part of your business, the structure of your business, to make sure that you're qualifying for what you need to qualify for, right? And we'll dig into it a little bit more. I'm out of time. Y'all are awesome. If you have any further questions, please get with your coach. And if your coach can't answer them, they'll get with me. What I promise you is we will make sense of this. We'll help you structure your business properly. We'll help you many times with your coaches. Hey, where do I work? I'm overgrown. Many of you right now, if you're rank 7 and above, you should literally be having coaching sessions on your team structure at least once a month. If you're not doing it and you wonder why your team's not advancing, it's because you cannot assume that they naturally know what they need to do, right? And if you're on the other end of that, you want somebody that knows what the hell they're doing so they can guide you through the minefield, right? So super important. You guys are awesome, and we will see y'all next week.